Hello everybody, now I'm going to explain to you how to print a preloaded 3D printed object that is loaded onto that pink USB right over to the right side. So this is not a new object that you have found or created on your own. This is just something that we've already loaded onto that USB there for you. So again, we are at our main screen. When you've logged on and you've preheated your machine, you will see these options as your main start. So we are going to go to print. And as you can see, there are two options here. There is the USB storage or the internal storage. The internal storage are things that the MakerBot replicator came with. So there's things like a chain. Actually, let's just go to that menu and I can show you. So there's the examples folder. If we go to the examples folder, there's a small block, there's chain links, there's Mr. Jaws, it's a tiny shark, or there's a nut and bolt. I like to go to the USB storage because that is where I have preloaded some objects for you. So I'm gonna hit at the top, I'm gonna scroll. Again, this little spinny wheel is how you go through the objects and this top one is how you go back. So I'm gonna go to the USB storage and I'm gonna push down on the button. It does take a few minutes. You can see that it's working as you can see the light flashing on that USB. So there are a couple of things if I go down. There are many options. So we have an Among Us character, a basketball, a birthday cake, a boat, a bug, a cat, elephant, fish, horse, lizard, Minecraft tools, two different kinds of octopus, nom, slug, and a Toy Story alien. For now, I'm just going to print a small bug because that is the quickest option. Again, these are just the preloaded options. This is nothing that is customizable. These are just all preloaded and set up for you for things that you might want to print on your own. So once you find the one that you want, you're going to go ahead and click on it. And it will say bug. Well, it will say whatever the title is that you're working on. Mine is a bug. So it'll say bug. It will tell you how long the print time is. So this says it takes 9 minutes and 46 seconds. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit print. It is thinking, as you can see, with it red. Red means that it is doing something to process the printing. So as I scroll down, that arm moving along the top here is where the extruder is and it's connected to the filament. It's getting ready to print. Right when it is ready to print, this base right here will start to rise up to get closer to where it's going to print. So as you can see, it's starting to rise. It's getting closer up to the top. And it will say that we are on step 2 out of 3, which is moving it into position. So now it says we are on step 3 out of 3, where it says final heating. It's just making sure that that extruder is at the optimal temp for the plastic to melt. Another really cool thing is once the product is completely done printing, it is cool enough for you to take off of it right away. So the plastic does cool down pretty quickly, but it is very hot on that object, the extruder itself that I showed you in the first video. So as we're waiting for this to heat up, it's almost there. It's about 200, it needs to be at 215. It will then start printing your object. The first thing it's going to do is print a test strip straight across the top here. You can get rid of that. That's nothing. It's just making sure that the filament is coming out properly. Then, after it's done that, it will start creating the base. So there's always a base on the printed objects. See, as you can see here, it's printing the test strip that I was just talking about straight across the front. You can see that blue line there. Then it's going to be working on the base. When you have a printed object, I'll get a little bit closer here for you guys. You can see what it's working on over the top if you want your students to look there, or you can look from just down below here. This is where it's printing, and this is how to show your students what it's working on. So it is currently working on the base, like I was saying. There's always a base that they print their objects onto that you will need to peel off. This is just to make sure that the 3D printed objects are sturdy and have enough surface area to be printed onto. So again, this is something that you will have to peel off at the end. So now it is filling in that base, making sure it's nice and secure. As you look at the top here now, it does say how much time we have left, how much time it has done, and what percentage complete it is. If you use this scroll wheel to look to the next slide, this is what our bug will eventually look like. You can also find the file name, how much material it's going to use, and then all the other details. It will also tell you how hot the extruder is at the time to make sure that it's always up to date. So I like to leave it on this screen so that way you can walk away, and just if you ever needed a peek back, you can then go back and see what time it's on. So thank you guys so much for watching how to print an object that is already on the USB for you.